Hello, everyone, and welcome to 100% You, a podcast which is all about discovering who you're truly meant to be and becoming the best version of yourself. I'm your host, Bari Barel, and I've been on the self development journey for the past 14 years and spiritual journey for the past 12 years. I can't believe that I'm saying this, but we already hit more than 38 countries across the world that listening to my podcast. And this is just on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And on YouTube, I know there's much more countries. So I'm super excited and super thankful for each of one of you that invest their time and listen to this podcast. And I really hope that you enjoy it and it makes your life a little better. If you haven't following this podcast, subscribe on YouTube, following it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I would really appreciate this. This what helps me grow. Your comments, your like, your shares, everyone that is following me, this is what let me know that my message is actually moving people and get this movement growing. Today I have a great announcement that I want to share with you guys. So for the past 2 months, I've been building something for 100% You. It basically combines everything that I was ever looking for in one place. And for years, I was thinking of how can I solve this problem. And every time I had different solutions, but it was never the right thing, the right solution to solve this problem. And this is a project that is really close to my heart, and I will be sharing very soon what it is about. But for now, you can go to the link in the description and sign up for the updates and be the first one to know, because I'm telling you, you will want to be first. This is going to change your life forever. It combines all of the tools, everything that I ever tried on myself that actually work in terms of becoming the best version of myself, all the techniques, everything together in one place. Make it easy for you to get everything that you want. And let's move now to this week's episode. So I have a question for you. When was the last time that you actually took a decision that is 100% yours? A big decision without thinking of what your parents would say, your friends, your coworkers, your colleagues, anyone you know, maybe your partner. You just really listened to yourself and did what feels right, and you actually sticked and made the decision and execute upon this and did whatever you needed to do to make sure this decision is actually implemented in your life. This is something that I struggled throughout the years. I think I shared it in one of the previous episodes, but one of my goals since like 14 was to learn how to listen to my intuition. Today, I'm very connected to my intuition. I know to separate it very easily. Is it my ego? Is it my intuition? Like I'm also very sensitive, so I feel things very fast. I can read the room, scan the room, know everything. I get intuitive messages from the future, and I understand things on much deeper way that in the past I just couldn't, because it took time to build this muscle, which everyone can build this muscle, of course. And this is something I keep repeating always and always. You can learn this stuff. It's something we all have. It's just a muscle you need to learn. So for years, my goal was to learn how to listen to my intuition. So every year, I remember I used to write on my notebook, I want to listen to my intuition, to have decisions based on my intuition only 100%. And for like 5 years, every time I looked at this goal and I was like, almost, but like no, I it was hard. Like I did not succeed in this goal. And I remember at some point it was frustrated, but I told myself, no, like this is one of the biggest things I want to learn how to master. Because what is it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years even of out of your entire life? Like it's nothing if you really think about it. 10 years even, it's nothing if you have a goal to listen to your intuition and it's gonna take you 10 years. Like if it's gonna help and benefit you for your entire life, that's worth it. So that was my goal, and eventually like I succeeded in this. But I remember that for years, even if I tried to go and listen to my intuition and take big bold decisions towards something that felt right, the second I decide going towards these decisions, I start doubting myself. I maybe if I start sharing my decisions, so I heard many different opinions from people around me, people that believed it's the wrong decision or tried to take me down of it. And, it's hard. Eventually, if you really want to tune to something that is fully yours, feels right to you, and sometimes it may seem completely nonsense, that can be very hard, especially when no one knows what's happening inside you and everything looks perfect from the outside. And then saying something that you want to do sounds so ridiculous that people are like, you're gonna ruin your entire life, or like, why are you doing this? And at that moment, most of the people fail. You take the decision, maybe you struggle with this, maybe for a few days, even a few months, maybe even just a few hours, you had this motivation of, yes, I'm going to do this. It feels right. I'm so proud of myself. I'm going to do this. You have the entire vision in your head. But then something happens. It can take a few seconds, which usually what happens, and it can take a few minutes, it can take a few hours, even a few days, maybe usually up until a few days, but it can also take a few weeks if you're like, you know, you don't handle it right. Take a decision, and then your ego comes in, your family, your friends, someone is trying to, maybe even they don't tell you something, but you have this fear of how will it look like, of criticism, of maybe it will ruin your entire reputation, maybe it will, you know, many things that you start to fear once you really try to be tuned to yourself. That's when the fears pops up. And this is something, once you learn this, for me took years to learn this. This is the best thing to actually start working on yourself. Fears, and I'm telling this over and over again. I'm trying to say this in each and every episode. Fears are the biggest force to actually break through and get everything that you want. Once you identify fears, there is something on the other side, and you need to cross this fear and actually and learn and see what is hiding there, because fears are just a compass. And my mantras in the past months been like, if I have my compass is like, where are my fears, and like just go there, and the sooner I will face the fears, the faster I will get everything that I want. This is like my number one rule right now, and everything seems to be so much easier when this is my mindset, when I understand how the universe is operate. I want something, the fear will pop up. Like, I know that once I take a decision towards something that feels truly aligned with myself, I know, right now where I am in my life, I know this is part of my strategy. Like, I actually part of my strategy. I know that once I take a decision that is fully myself, I know that just in a few minutes, a few days, a few weeks, whatever, a few hours, I will face fear. I will have a big fear that will stop me from getting towards what I want. So fear right now are part of my strategy because I know they're going to pop up. So when you have fears, this is a very good sign, and you need to know that you just need to cross them. So many times our brain try to find all the reasons why the idea, the decision we made is the wrong one. And today we're going to talk about how to recognize when is it truly your inner voice, when you're aligned 100% with yourself, and when is it your ego. During this episode, I will give you practical tools that you can actually use right now in order to truly tune to yourself and understand and identify whether it's the right decision to make, whether it's truly tuned to yourself, or is it your ego. And I want to say something about this. Also, sometimes, when maybe you made the decision, you have something, you were in this all motivation, period, and then maybe you even didn't say your decision, but you were just like thinking about it, and you start talking to people about other stuff, and maybe someone said something about something that you want to make a decision, and even that friend, without knowing what's happening in your life, maybe something that they say will make you feel that you're taking the wrong route. And the longer you sit with something that is truly feel tuned to yourself, the more reasons you'll have of why not doing this. And this is something very painful that I learned. The more I sat on something that felt right to me, the harder it became later on. So I told a story about me going to university, but in 2022, I signed up for university, and after a few months that I signed to the university starting next year, I had the intuition of, this is not for me. At least not right now. This is not the right step to do. I knew it immediately, but everyone told me like, no, you're doing stupid thing, blah blah blah. You're gonna ruin your entire future. And I knew in my inner voice that this is the right decision to make. But because everyone around me told me that I'm taking a stupid decision, I was in a loop of, I'm telling you, like 6 months, I'm not kidding, of thinking about it. Should I stop and not going to start university, or like what should I do? And I even like spent 2 months. I took an apartment next to the beach. I was like, I want to have like time just to think, to go to the beach, be with myself. And I remember I'm really thankful for that period of time in my life, because I remember I look at this, I told myself that no matter what's going to happen, this is the best school to learn how to listen to my intuition. I have an entire episode about this. I will link it down below if you want to listen to it, the story about university, because it's a crazy story about intuition and everything, and just let go of how everything will turn out. So this thing and many other things I had in my life taught me that the faster you go with your intuition, the better and faster things you want will appear in your life. And the longer you wait on actually taking action upon your intuition, the harder it will get in the long term. And I think a great story to just explain you a little bit about how to learn, whether it's your inner voice or your ego, is a story that I have from two friends recently, which I'm really proud of. In general, like all the friends I'm surrounding myself now, like I feel that each friend that I have is in a new chapter in her life, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch how someone turns dream to reality. So I'll start talking about one friend, and this is just a short story. So I have one friend that quitted her really great high-tech job. She was well paid. She was working in a great startup. She had a great position. She has quite a lot of experience compared to her age. And in general, she had the intuition that she wants to quit and start doing something else, learn something regarding more like consciousness, whatever, something regarding more the wellness world. And she had many ideas of what she wanted to do, but she didn't know exactly what she wanted to do. But she did know one thing, that she wanted to start creating more content. She was not creating content. She did create, like, used to write a lot on LinkedIn, sometimes on Facebook, and she had an audience there, but she knew that she wants to grow, start sharing her story, experience. She didn't know even what to share, but she knew she wants to start sharing on Instagram and like just in general her story. And she was very afraid also to share that she's quitting the high tech job and going to, new adventure that is not a high tech journey, but something completely different. And we had a few different conversations. One of the first conversation was that she wants to create content on Instagram, and this is like her new decision. She feels that's like a right step she needs to go. And she was thinking about it for a while, and she said, okay, listen, this is what I'm gonna do. Gonna start create content. And this is what she did. She started creating content, and after a few days she decided to quit. And she said she feels there's an evil eye, and she felt that that's not aligned with her. This is not the right thing to do. She said that she don't think this is aligned with what she needs to do right now. She started giving all the reasons why not, and she started telling me that she don't want random people to look at her pictures, at her story. She doesn't feel comfortable about this. And she made a bold step of turning her Instagram private instead of being public and, keep sharing. And she stopped sharing and she turned her Instagram to private. I remember I told her, listen, I think this is just a fear. You need to go through this because, and I remind you, we talked about this in previous episodes. When you want to have something in your life, you need to expand your vessel to have more, to receive more. This is like core principle in Kabbalah. When you want to have something, to receive more, to expand yourself and receive more in your life, you need to have the capacity to hold more, which means expanding your vessel. And this is also connects to what I told you with fears. When you want to expand your vessel, receive more, you will face fears. And in order to expand your vessel, you need to face those fears. Okay? I really like to compare it to business. You want to grow a business, sometimes there will be challenges. If you really want to grow the business to 8-figure instead of 6 figures, you will need to face this challenge in order to grow, to solve something, to automate something, to make this challenge smooth and part of your life. I don't know, something that was an obstacle that was holding you back. You need to somehow make sure it is part of your everyday life, your strategy, something that will be smoother to be able to receive more, to have more clients, to, hold more, maybe to have a more high ticket sales. Like you need to hold more. So you need to change the strategy, the core. You have obstacles, you solve them and you grow. The same in your own life. You want something better, you want something bigger, you want something, new. If you don't have it now and you see it's not easy, like you can't have it really fast and quickly, like I'm gonna buy something. So you need to expand yourself in order to receive more of it. That means facing your fears. And let's say this is the vessel. I'm showing you with my hands if you don't watch the video. So let's say this is the vessel that you have right now and you want to get to this vessel, okay? Bigger, much bigger vessel. So in order to get to that vessel, when you're here, you're going to have here and here obstacles, challenges. In order to get to that vessel, that this will feel normal, you have to make everything that is inside automated, feels natural, feels normal, feels just normal as you are right now. It should feel normal. It shouldn't feel bigger, or like it should feel natural and part of yourself. So in order to make sure that all of this feels natural, you need from this vessel to go over the obstacles you have here on the sides, go face them, and expand your vessel. Hope you got it. So going back to the story of my friend. So after a few days that she was started sharing, she turned her Instagram to private. I told her, listen, like, I'm the type of friend, I can be very pushy if I want. Can be very motivating, but at the same time, I'm sometimes looking at the person and see whether they need. I don't want to like push them on a lesson without them being ready. And I saw that she's like half ready, half not. So I was like very gentle, and I told her, listen, I think you need to start sharing more, but do whatever feels right for you. I think it's just a fear. She said, no, I think it's the wrong thing to do. I don't want to share. I don't want people to look at me, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And after a few days or a few weeks, I don't remember exactly the timeline, she decided to start posting again. And during that time, I don't know if like I know she told me I had some influence on her. I don't know if it was because of me or not, but she took the decision to go again. And she decided to open her account and start posting again, making reels. And she decided that she wants to go to have certain amount of followers, and she started posting again. And then after a few days, she decided again, no, that this is not for me. I don't want to share anymore. It doesn't feel right. I feel that I need to concentrate on the things that I'm building now and the course that I took. Like she started having all this ideas of why not to share what she has. Maybe her coworkers that don't know yet that she quitted her job, like whatever, all these reasons. And I remember after she told me, I told her, listen, like, and at the same time, I had another friend that had the same issue with content, that she really didn't want to do and create content. And because I saw both of them have such big fears with creating content, I was just like screaming at both of them, like, post it, like just post it. And what happened next, and if you remember, I also told you that I had the same story with content, that I was scared to post, and then I faced my fears with LinkedIn and my post like exploded. So like I had the experience, I know how it works. Like I don't have like thousands and thousands of viewers and whatever, because I don't post enough yet. And this is a strategy that I'm building right now in order to receive more. So soon I'm gonna post so much that you're gonna feel tired out of me. But I did see significant improvements in my views and my followers, everything in the past 2 months when I realized this concept. So this friend, I told her like about my story of LinkedIn, whatever, and I told her, you need to post again. Just before she wanted to quit, she posted again, and her video got like 10,000 views. And before that, she had like a few hundreds on each video. So that was huge. And her followers started to gain more and more and more. And she started posting again. And then once again, she wanted to quit. And she was like, no, I'm done with that. She had like one video explode and got 100,000 views. And she was like, I don't like the people following me. I don't want those peoples. I don't want the blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I'm quitting again. And at that time, I just told her, listen, just look how much you went through the past, like, I don't know, 1 month, 2 months. Like, you should keep posting. Do whatever feels right. You should keep posting. And then she decided to keep posting. And what happened next was like really incredible. She decided to take the risk and speak out loud her dream. Start talking about her dreams that she quitted the high tech job, the really great position she had, and she started talking about her dreams about the course she's doing right now and a random dream that she has about opening coffee place in a vibe of a farm in the middle of the city. Something really cool. She didn't really think it's like she's gonna do it, but she was just like, let's just write something. And she posted. And this post was after she posted a few posts on Facebook. She got back to Facebook. And she also was scared to post on Facebook because many people started adding her and commenting, and she didn't like the people that was adding her, and it kind of scared her, and she was like, evil eye, whatever, but whatever, whatever. And after she faced these fears and she posted about her personal experience, quitting the job, whatever, she posted about the dream of having this ecological farm coffee place in the middle of the city. And she did it, just intuitively. She was like, okay, I just posted everything. I can do this. I posted. And this post exploded, became viral. She had, I actually didn't check the post, but like, I think more than thousands of likes on Facebook. And so many people approach her. And in the past months, less than a month, what she's been doing is just going from meeting to meeting with people that actually like want to invest in her, want to start building this with her, taking her dream alive. And her entire month just turned over from one post she made, but it's not one post she made. She had the 2 months prior to that and like many times before that that she wanted to post but she didn't. She wanted to post but she didn't. And it's not that she has a lot of followers, like she did not on Instagram. And she started sharing her experience and she started like posting so much now. She just don't care because people are invested in her story, and her life changed completely, like in a month, just because she faced her fears and she was able to expand the vessel and like go through this growing, stretching period. And as a friend, I'm so proud of her and it's so fun to see it from the side. So this is basically, she has the intuition to do something, to start posting. And the same I had with another friend at the same time, that she really wanted to post something. She was super afraid about this. She also quit her job. Everyone quitting their jobs now. That's like the new trend. I'm kidding. But like, people are really want to do what meant for them. So another friend quitted her job, really good job, really like high position, like, and she's like the top of the top. And it was the first time she posted something about this, and she was so frightened to post about it. And for like 2 weeks, she was telling me like, I want to post this, but I don't, And she sent me what she wrote, and she had like 2 drafts of different ways of how to write this. And I told her, listen, like, you're thinking about this way too much. I know it, you have to do this only because I see how much you have fears about posting this. After like 2 weeks, she posted this, and it was story on Instagram. It wasn't even a post. It became viral, like inside her Instagram. And so many people approach her, and it opened also opportunities. So like, when you have fear, very, very, very strong fear, I believe the stronger the fear, the faster you need to go through this. I'm telling you, like, I experienced this so much that I had such great fears, and the faster I experienced, the better, like, everything became faster. So that's number one rule. And if we'll kind of try to compare between those two voices, so the inner voice and the ego. So first of all, before that, as I said, a great tool to understand whether you're on the right path, you're doing something you need to do, like it's your inner voice, whatever, if there's gonna come up fears after. But as I said many times, because we maybe don't know how to recognize it, maybe, we're in this loop of don't know what to do. And I can tell you even about myself, sometimes although I have a really, really great intuition, sometimes it's really hard to, like, when I'm in this fear loop, to separate and say, this is This is what I need to do. This is like my intuition, and this is my ego, because it's so scary sometimes. It's so easy to listen to our ego. So easy. We're taught to listen to our ego. So it's hard. And even I fail sometimes at this, but I'm trying my best and I'm learning and I keep growing with that. So, ego, how does your ego sound? So, your ego is probably will be very loud, very immediate. It will be very logical thinking, a lot of logical. It will come from your brain, probably. It will make sense, which is, it's fine. Like, you should have decisions that make sense. But many times, if you want to separate, so ego, it's more logical, makes sense, what other people will think about me. The ego is looking for approval. If you recognize that your decision, something that you're trying to decide, is you're looking for approval, like what is this person gonna think about this, how it will make them feel, how this will blah blah blah. It's hard. Like I'm still facing those kind of stuff almost every day. Like not every day, but like almost every day I have those decisions of like how this will make my parents feel, how this will make my friends feel. Like even in the small stuff that we don't recognize on a daily basis, that happens. So when you seek for approval, this is your ego. When it's loud, this is your ego. No, like inner voice should also be loud, but like when it's messy, logical, maybe you're scared of the evil eye, what will people say about you, jealousy, all this kind of stuff. Maybe you don't want to face criticism, like everything that related to this is your ego. On the other side, you have your inner voice, your intuition, like everything related to actually taking decision from your true self, 100% yourself. It will feel calm. It will feel with ease, warm. You will have like an inner knowing. Maybe after a few seconds, you will have the ego shouting at you, but you will have something of certainty inside. It will be hard to explain logically, but like this is the right thing to do. But the second after, your logical mind will start like giving you all the explanation why it's the wrong thing to do. So it's like this weird certainty about something without having any logical approval, any logical explanation. This is inner knowing. It's scary as hell because you have certainty about something that makes no sense. This is inner knowing. And inner knowing, if we'll take just a step back and we'll look at things from a spiritual point of view, everything is connected. We are here in the universe where we are right now, in your country, whatever, you have time and there is a timeline. But in general, like there is no time. Like in space, there is no time. And where is no time, everything happens simultaneously. And what happens is that we as human beings, we have something in us that is connected to the higher self, to the universe, to God, to energies, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, to God, to this light. We all have this. We all have this connection. And when we have this connection, intuition is basically a loading, like you understand, get messages from something bigger than you that you cannot explain. When we look at the universe, okay, let's say, I don't know if you believe in, I'll use the term God, okay, like whatever you believe in, but it's just easier to explain it by saying God, okay? So let's say this is the universe, okay? And this is like the higher spirit God. And I'm showing with my hands again if you're not watching the video. So let's say this is the higher universe. This is me in this world. And God knows everything because, okay, I don't know if God is like the easiest example to share this, but like the higher spirit, okay, knows everything, knows everything that happens simultaneously everywhere. When you're connected to your intuition, you can have messages from this higher spirit, from God. You can have messages. This is what you're doing when you're meditating. This is what you're doing when you're really connected to yourself. Like when you truly connect to yourself, you have this intuitive knowing very fast because you learn how to do this. This is a muscle you learn. So when you have intuition about something, you have this inner knowing about something that doesn't make any sense, this is intuitive loading from somewhere above you, okay? It's not really above you, okay? I'm just, this is like, as a human being, this is the way we understand stuff, but it can be around you. It can be just a different frequency than you, that everything happens at the same time and you just get the loading, the messages from this thing. Okay, it can be here. It doesn't have to be up there. It's just easier for us to, as human beings, to understand that it's up there, but it's not necessarily up there. It's everywhere. This higher spirit. So intuition doesn't make any sense. It's a certainty that doesn't make any sense and have no logical explanation most of the times. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't, especially when it comes to big stuff. And this leads me to how can we actually connect to ourselves? Because it's a tool, and this is just like so easy when you learn how to do it and master it. So I really want you to learn this. So the first thing to understand, when you're from your ego, you're working from a lower frequency. Okay, there's different frequencies, low frequencies and higher frequencies. The higher the frequency you are at, the more connected you are to the higher spirit, to God, to the light of the creator. And when you're tuned to your intuition, you're tuned to yourself, you're connected to yourself, you are on more high vibration, more high frequency. Now, one of the easiest way to understand and learn whether you're operating from your ego or from your true self is to start increase your vibration, increase your frequency. When you're in a lower vibration frequency, when you're in a lower frequency, it will be very hard to recognize what is the right thing to do because you are not connecting to the higher spirit. You need to raise your frequency. This is something that I learned without even understanding what I'm doing, but for years I had like different kind of rituals that I did with myself. And today when I really understand and I'm conscious about it, it is much easier to do so. So small stuff, like I don't listen to sad music. Like I listen only to really fun music that makes my energy uplift. I listen to a lot of Latin music because it just uplifts my energy. It raised my vibration. I listen to a lot of love songs just because it raised my vibration, it raised my frequency. And when I say raise your vibration, increase your frequency, I mean, you need to feel so happy, so whole, so like loving. And when you feel this whole of yourself, it is easier to, like, this is the frequency when you truly know, like, what is yours, what's right. And sometimes when you at really low point, it's really hard to get to that frequency, especially like if you don't have the me time. Like I have to have my me time. If I don't have my me time, I'm getting crazy. Like I have to have a few hours for myself just to tune to myself, because if I will not have this, it will be harder to increase my frequency. Even if like the entire environment that I'm in increasing my frequency, I need those me time because I know this is how I charge. So you need to know what's help you to charge, to connect to yourself and raise your frequency. Because when you're operating from a lower frequency, it will be very, very hard to take decisions that are truly aligned with yourself, aligned with your purpose. Like let's take the example of my friend that didn't want to post. Okay, so probably what happened, that she was really aligned with herself. She made the decision, I want to start posting at the first times, okay? And maybe what's happened next, she started getting maybe comments or people, she didn't like their energy. Like, now I want you to understand something. Energy is everything. It doesn't matter if someone comment to you or not. Maybe people even don't comment to you. Like, let's say if you post it on social media, even like the smallest thing, as you see that people that are not your type starting following you, people that you don't want interaction with, that can lower your vibration. Like everything holds energy, everything, even the light you have. The more sensitive you are, the more those kind of stuff affect you. Like if you have, I can tell you about myself, I hate being in rooms where the light is not like warm and it is cold. Like it really affects my energy. Those type of things like can really like lower my energy without I'm even noticing. The food you eat, like everything holds energy. So if you cannot control your external environment, try to control your internal environment, like what you wear. Try to wear things that feels good in yours. Like everything holds energy. If you wear, like, I don't buy at really cheap stores like Stradivarius, all those, like AliExpress, like Shane, like all of stores, Israelis love buying on those kind of store. I don't touch it. Why? Because the clothes from there, for me at least, I feel that they hold lower frequency. So everything you have, you own, everything holds energy frequency. So you need to make sure, first of all, I think it should be a rule for everyone just to all the time try to increase your frequency. That should be like your law. So start with the small stuff. Find what helps you to feel happier, feel loved. If you don't understand what does it mean to increase your frequency, try to see. In Kabbalah, they say connect to the light of the Creator. Like what lights your soul, what lights up your soul, what makes you happier. It makes you happier to go on a quiet walk and just see the sunset. This will raise your frequency. Do that. Will it raise your frequency to go on a dinner in a nice restaurant? Do that. Like go on a weekend somewhere. Do that. Like do what helps you to raise your frequency. Will it help you to raise your frequency if you'll be the entire day alone, just like listen to music? Do that. Do whatever helps you to raise your frequency. The more you raise your frequency, the more you will be aligned with your highest self, your highest version. It will be easier to listen to your intuition. It will be easier to take decisions and act upon them. It will be easier to not get other people approval, criticism, whatever affect you. And here I want to stop and say, you may start increasing your frequency, find the way to do it, do something you love. Like I know about myself, another thing, okay? I know that going to museums, this is like increasing my energy, my frequency so much. So like once in a few months, I'm going to the museum by myself usually because I don't know, like I can go with people. I love going with people too. But like I know that I need to see art. I know this will raise my frequency. I love doing this. I know that once in a while I need to dress certain way, like to feel in a certain way. Like this will raise my frequency. I know that if I'll wear makeup almost every day, this will raise my frequency. Like find the way that helps you to raise your frequency. I love wearing colors. Like this is not really colors, but I love wearing colors because it raises my frequency. Find those things that helps you to do that. And even though you're raising your frequency, you will have those setbacks. You will have this fears popping out. This is like, as I said, this is part of the strategy in order to expand your vessel. You want to receive more. You want $1 million a month. Okay. This is something you're far away from. You want the love of your life. You want whatever. It doesn't matter. In order to get there, if you don't have it right now, you need to expand your vessel. And in order to do this, so you will face challenges. You will face fears. And the stronger the fear, the better the outcome on the other side. And this is like, should be your compass. Something that I'm going to talk in the upcoming episodes. And this is also something that I'm preparing for you. I've been working a lot with myself on how to protect my energy. I'm doing a lot of work about this because I realized that I'm more sensitive than I understood that I am. Like everything affects in me. Like someone can say even if I'll have the most incredible conversation with someone with really high energy, one sentence, one word that will be with negative energy will affect me. And I didn't understand it till now because I'm not thinking about it. I'm feeling it in my body. Like I like the way I operate, it's like I feel stuff. So I'm not necessarily like know what's going on. I just feel certain energy. So I'm trying to work. I'm trying. Like I feel that I cracked the code about this, but I need to experiment a little bit more about this and then I'll share. Also protecting your energy from things that lowering your energy, your frequency, I'm sorry. So other people approval, criticism, all that kind of stuff will probably lower your frequency and you will have to learn how to do this. So be aware of this and be aware that it can come, but it's a bridge. Once you cross the bridge, on the other side, there's going to be such a beautiful things and you just need to pass this fear. Like approval of people, criticism, this is fears part of the strategy. Remember this. The same as you're going to have challenges and things in your business, the same you're going to have in your own life. This is a good thing. Don't be scared of them. Hug them. Love them. So I'll summarize everything. As I said, the most practical step for this entire episode that I want you to take is learn how to raise your frequency. I try to do it on a daily basis. This is like part of my life, like everything that I'm doing without even noticing it's to increase my frequency. Can be the time that I'm going to sleep, the time that I'm waking up, the work that I'm doing, the food that I eat. Like everything holds energy, and energy, the better the energy, it can help you to increase your frequency. The higher your frequency, the more you connect it to yourself. This is like number one rule, okay? And don't be hard on yourself. It's a muscle. Remember, it's a muscle. And just remember that once you get a decision about something that feels right, there's going to be fears. One of the things that really helped me in the past months, like as I said about this podcast, when I had the intuition about the podcast, I just knew that if I'm going to tell anyone about starting a podcast, this podcast will never happen. And this is the best thing I ever did in my entire life, not telling anyone that I'm starting a podcast. And usually I used to tell people about things that I'm doing, and it became like my favorite thing now, not to tell people about things that I'm doing and building, to protect the energy of this thing because it's new. Also in Kabbalah, they talk about a lot. And, in a logical sense, if we think about it, you start something new, you need to put inside energy. Again, I'm showing with my hands. You want to fill it with new energy. In order to fill this in new energy, that this energy will hold itself by its own, it takes time to make sure that the energy inside this new thing will be dense and will be certain enough to stay the same without anyone trying to hold it back. So remember, if you have something new that feels really right to you and you don't know still how to operate this thing and you're not sure how to do it, and maybe it's a big thing, maybe you should just, everyone is different. This is also something very important. And astrology can really help you with that, to understand yourself on a deeper level and understand how to operate, how you operate. I know, for example, that because this is like a little astrology lesson. I have my moon is in Aries. So since my moon is in Aries, moon is like your emotional state, and Aries is like leadership. It's like really assertive. So since my moon is in Aries, if I want to do something, I want to do it fast right now. But because I have this, I need to like stop, wait 24 hours at least to sleep at night on this new idea. I take even like it even farther. I have my rule that I need to think about it for a week, and if it feels right, then I act upon it, and I don't tell anyone. So find your own, like, little stuff that helps you to protect the energy. Maybe if you have a big decision that you need to make and you need to feel very certain about this, and it's hard to be certain about this, so maybe take the decision, think about it for 24 hours a week, and then operate and execute it. And when you wait a little bit, you will have more dense energy inside this new decision, so you will be able to hold this without anyone really trying to take you off that decision. And this is how you also expand your vessel and can, receive more, have more, whatever. So I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. I really enjoyed recording this. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next week. Bye.